Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Omniscient Reader chapters 5 through 8 probably. Going to do 5 through 8 here. This, after the first video, I'm not gonna lie, it has potential to be like among some of the sort of favorite series that I've ever covered and read through on the channel. I really enjoyed making the first video on this like so much. It was so much fun. But I asked a bunch of you like, hey, if you want to help me out, like each video, tell me like if you know a good place to stop. Some of you said chapter 7, some of you said chapter 8, but a bunch of you, the only comments I got talking about like the next video after this were saying to stop at 12. So since I did 1 through 4 last time, I was like I can do 5 through 8 and then 9 through 12. That way it's just equal 4 chapters per video. So that's the way I'm gonna do it, I think. I don't really know how the series is split apart or anything. Again, I didn't want to like be spoiled on like anything going into this, and thank you all for not spoiling me. Somebody did explain that the reason that it's Omniscient Reader here, but I constantly see people saying Omniscient Reader's viewpoint, is because Omniscient Reader's viewpoint was like, I think this is originally a light novel, but this is the webtoons adaptation of the light novel, I think. And the original light novel was Omniscient Reader's viewpoint, and this was also Omniscient Reader's viewpoint in the like scanlation, but when the official translation came out, they just shortened the name to Omniscient Reader. So somebody did explain that to me. Again, just don't worry about over-explaining things. Like I said, we're just gonna chill, go through, discuss the series as we read through it, and then if I like get through anything and there's like stuff that I'm missing out on, just comment and fill in the blanks, or if the translation messes up anywhere, just comment and be like, hey, you should probably know that this should be this. But yeah, either way, I think that's all that I need to talk about for the intro before we get into reading. Just wanted to bring up how many chapters I was doing. So yeah, I guess I'm going to do 4 this week, 4 next week, and then just continue on like that for as long as that makes sense. But like I said, if you know a good place to end for like the next video and then the next video or whatever, just comment and let me know and I'll go for that. But yeah, I guess that's it. So let me pull up the chapter so you all can see it, and I guess we'll get to reading with episode 5. So last time, I guess we really didn't finish what was going on inside the train car. The old lady was getting murked by the crowd of people, including... So the main character is Dokja Kim, and Kim Nam Woon, I think, was the name of the other guy, the guy that was instigating what was going on in there. And the main character, at least the main character of Omniscient Reader, was waiting for a certain moment to step in and act, and that's what we got cliffhung on. But we also know that the reason things aren't exactly like they are in TWSA, or 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse, I can't believe I remember the name, is because he's not in the same car as the main character. So that's an interesting twist on this, that, and I think he mentioned it in like the last chapter, or maybe chapter before, where if he changes too much from the story of TWSA, then he's not going to be able to predict the future as much, because he's changed things too much and it's not the same as the story anymore. So the story kind of like, if he wants to use the story, it has to like be, he has to like try to keep it the same, but also if he tries to keep it the same, that means that Sangha, I really don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Somebody in the comments said it should be like Sang-a instead of Sangha. So I guess, I don't know. I'm going to try my best. But yeah, if there's anything like that I need to adapt to or change, I guess let me know with that as well. But yeah, I guess we're going to see what he actually was rushing in to do, because that's what we got cliffhung on last time. We have this burst from the door. Oh, and one of the most interesting things to me that I just remembered is we know that everybody gets like an attribute and a skill or an ability and a skill, whatever it was. They each get those two things, and we know one of his two is to be able to read super quickly. I guess like his attribute or whatever, but then he has like like I'm thinking of it as like maybe they each have a passive and an active skill. Sort of like in Magical Girl Raising Project, everybody has like, Magical Girls all have their like physical abilities and stuff, but they also each have one unique skill to them. But that means that like all of these characters, Sang-ah, Namwoon, the soldier guy, I think he was like Hyun-sung or something, they're all going to have abilities too. That's going to be interesting. And there's like some supernatural stuff going on with like the energy and stuff at the door. Alright, we have him dashing through the train car. We saw that last time. Alright. See Namwoon again. Hopefully I got his name right. If not, I'm assuming they'll say it eventually, and then I can just be like, oh, okay, never mind, I had it wrong. Again, it might take me a couple chapters or a couple videos even to remember everyone's names. What the hell? And he just tackles them away. Omniscient Reader. And we have Episode 5, Chapter 1, Beginning of the Paywall, Part 4. Okay. Fuck, what's your problem? It may have seemed like I had to push Namwoon Kim to save the old lady, but that wasn't the only thing I'd been aiming for. Alright. What are you doing? Keep going, kill her. Where is it? It must be around here somewhere. Found it. And he sees the kid with the bug that we've been seeing. Grabs his shoulder. Excuse me. Here, hold on to this. Oh, because they said kill a living creature or whatever. Sorry, your pet bug's getting clapped. Please, stop what you're doing. Killing that old lady doesn't mean you're going to live. And we see everyone looking up. They look angry. And then, like, Hyun-sung or whatever his name is just looking like, what the hell is happening? Alright. Good, I have their attention. Let's say we kill the old lady. What next? Yes, if that old lady dies, we'll be able to buy some time because we killed something with it. This old lady's been beaten to hell. Like, at this point, like, all these grown adults beating on her, isn't it, like, probably better to put her out of her misery at this point? Because she's probably messed up, realistically, right? Like, buy some time because we killed something within the given time limit. But what will happen next? And then, if what the Dokubi said is true, it means we all have to kill one person each. So, who will you kill next? Will you kill the person beside you? And then Namwoon laughs. Isn't it obvious? We'll kill losers like you next. No need to worry about your turn beforehand. The chances are 50-50 anyway. Namwoon Kim. Yes, I knew you would say that. Why gamble with our lives when there's a way to survive this without becoming a murderer? What? How? Have you forgotten the scenario didn't say we have to kill a human being? It said we have to kill one or more living organisms. And he has this grasshopper. Alright. Insects? Of course. If we kill one of those, the madness that had driven them to kill the old lady now came hurtling towards me. But why? Why is my heart beating with joy in this precarious situation? Why am I smiling? Was I always this kind of person? And then we see them, or I think that was him crushing one of them before throwing the rest. That crazy. Alright, and we see reactions from like some of the characters that we actually know their names. I think that was Mr. Han, and then Hyun-sung and Sang-ah. Alright. The first kill mission has been accomplished. You will receive a 100 coins as a bonus. But find it, you asshole, just you wait. I got it. There are 3 minutes left. Hey you, why did you do that? You could have just handed over the bugs. There were only 3 insects left in the box. Huh? So you threw them, since not all of us can live. Yes. Don't be ridiculous. No one in their right mind would pull a stunt like that for that kind of stupid reason. Be honest. You just wanted to watch them fight for your lives, didn't you? Yes, Namwoon Kim is that kind of guy. He's cruel and rampant and enjoys situations like this. Personal skill, character profile activated. Okay. So then, is his passive that he can read super, super quickly, and his active ability is that he can, like, judge people's character. And we see character profile now. Moon Kim is 19. No supporting constellation. 2 were currently interested. Okay, so I guess the constellations, I think those were mentioned before in like chapter 1 or 2. But I could be wrong. I think they said something about the constellations moving. So those might be the, like, what I mentioned before, the, like, Fate Grand Order heroes from history / gods or whatever. And the, like, each eventually get one potentially. Personal attribute, Edgelord, generic. Personal skills, exceptional adaptability 1, knife fighting level 1, and Grimdark Awakening level 1. And we see overall stats as well. So we get to see, like, everything. So that's interesting. So they have skills like that. So I guess, like, he mentioned before that they each had... Okay. So they each have an attribute, and I guess the skills aren't just limited to 1 per person. And I mean, the knife fighting and adaptability seem like passive, but I'm assuming Grimdark Awakening is like his ability or whatever. And then we see his attribute as Edgelord. And then we actually have a stat system, I guess, like they're special. We get his stamina, strength, agility, and mana levels. And of course mana eventually means we're going to get into like more of a power system. Alright, a teenage edgelord whose dark side's awakened due to an extraneous event. It's best not to get involved with him. Character profile? I see. I think I know what my attributes are. Yeah, he is a bit of an edgelord. Most teen edgelords in TWSA couldn't handle the nightmare that became reality and committed suicide, but Namun Kim was different. And we have delusional demon Namun Kim, edgelord. Alright, so this is like the intro screen we got for Hyunsung, and again, I hope I'm not remembering his name incorrectly right now. So it's like that intro screen. This boy, who would later be bestowed with that fitting nickname, was no ordinary edgelord. He had been waiting for the apocalypse for a long time, and he adapted to this world at an unusual speed. And right now, that delusional demon, team up with me. What do you say? Namun Kim has expressed interest in you. I love seeing these pop-ups from his perspective. Your understanding of Namun Kim has increased. Wants to join forces with me. Alright, prove your value, kill 1 or more living organisms. Alright, and we get this, same, we've seen it before, and we have less than 3 minutes remaining. And that's where we end for this chapter. That was a very, very good chapter once again. I like that just from this one chapter, I feel like we're getting so much more into the world. I feel like this built up like how the whole system works a lot in just one chapter. But yeah, let's just go ahead and read the next one. Moving on to episode 6, again, seeing the like big number 7 in the middle of the screen is always like distracting. It always kind of throws me off a little bit, because I think eventually in Tower of God it ended up the same way, where eventually I was following, like, I probably just skipped a number eventually sometime in my videos, just because like eventually I just started following the number as the overall chapter. Even though some chapters are like prologues and stuff, I just sort of started being like, yeah, it's season 2 whatever, yeah, it's season 3 whatever, but the overall chapter I just kept going by like the actual number on Webtoons, just because it was easier to remember that way. So I probably just got thrown off at some point over the past like 6 years. But yeah, either way, I guess let's just continue on reading. We get violence warnings like basically every chapter. I feel like that's just going to be sort of the norm for Omniscient Reader, it seems like. But this place looks like it's burning, so I wonder if that's the main character's place. Yeah, we have 3707. I don't 100% remember. I think that might be the main character's. And then like Dokja's is 3807. So we see them stepping forward. Alright. Where did it go? It was right here just now. Move, I'm going to catch it. Omniscient Reader, Episode 6, Chapter 1, Beginning of the Paywall, Part 5. Sorry, I work alone. And then we see the two of them juxtaposed. Well, that's a bummer. If I team up with Na-Moon Kim, my survival would be guaranteed for now. If I hadn't read TWSA, I probably would have made a different choice. But I am a reader who knows about him and his future, and after seeing him in person, then get out of my way. I have some unfinished business with that granny. I can't let the bug I caught escape from my grasp. Yeah, at this point, I feel bad to say it, but like, here's the thing. If the granny doesn't kill somebody, the Dokkaebi game, whatever, is going to end up killing her anyway. So it's like, either she dies for nothing and nobody gets to live, or she dies, Na-Moon gets to live, and then like the 3 bugs can go to 3 other people. And then somebody grabs him. Oh, it's Dokja. What? Are you trying to act like a hero now? Or do you have a split personality? Jeez, you know-it-alls are all the same. I realized how much I hated his character in TWSA. You think you'll be a teenager forever, right? People like you make me sick. And he yanks his arm away. Na-Moon Kim despises you. Your affinity towards Na-Moon Kim is slightly decreased. I said. And then, move. And it seems like he's using magical abilities here. Look at you, you're not half bad. I knew you would make that move. So again, did he like figure out his ability like that? This guy's exactly how I'd imagined he'd be. How about this? And he attacks again. Or is that just effects, maybe? That's the skill of the Edgelord attribute. Skill, Grimdark Awakening, level 1. Alright. He already activated his skill. He's starting to attack with it. What's this? I'm so fucking strong! This is probably why the protagonist still recruited him, although he's like a psychopath. So again, Na-Moon Kim joins the main character squad. So if he joins the main character squad, it seemed like Dokja was fighting the main character in the prologue. So I wonder, does that mean that like Dokja's squad is going to be the people? Gosh, I don't remember the shot where they're like on a cliff or something in the prologue. I don't remember that shot, but I remember the bug kid being there. I think Sangha was there. So I guess maybe that's going to be his squad. Your understanding of Na-Moon Kim is increased. Should I use that now? You've unlocked level 1 of your personal skill, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. And then, huh? Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. What exactly is that? Damn it, where'd all the fucking insects go? What's going on? And then he dodges another attack. Ah, fuck. Why aren't you getting hit? Try all you want, but you won't be able to hit me. Level 1 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint activated. Right shoulder. And then, so I guess he knows what's going to happen as if he just reads the situation. In the face. And he dodges again. As soon as my second skill, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, was activated. And then, I knew what he was going to do. It was like I could read his mind. Oh, fucking hell, you slimy little jerk. And again, the main character having this ability reminds me even more of the Magical Girl Raising Project comparison that I made before. Again, if you have not read Magical Girl Raising Project, it's a great light novel series. Go read that. But all I can do is dodge his attacks. Retaliating isn't possible. I just need to hold on a little longer. 2 minutes left, kid. Fuck. And then, if that old lady dies, Na-Moon will clear the scenario. Whatever happens, I can't let someone like him move on to the next scenario. Okay, so is he just going to try to fail him to kill Na-Moon by failing him? And he reaches into his coat. I knew you would make that move. Pulls out a knife. Heart. Skill knife fighting level 1. And And he slashes down, but Dokja moves the old lady out of the way. It hurts. Feels like my skin is burning. Now that I think about it, he's a military geek. And then we have him trying to escape with the lady. Death is just around the corner. If I lose to Namun Kim, am I going to die here too? This is a world that's simply based on survival of the fittest. No, the world's always been like this. According to the law of the jungle, the strong prey on the weak. Nothing's really changed. Rather, that rule's just become clearer. I must also adhere to that rule if I want to survive. Come on, Mr. Smarty Pants. You don't even have the strength to run anymore. Do me a favor, and let's just get this over with. We're running out of time. If I hesitate, Namun Kim, second-year student at Chonggil High School. Is an insect egg also an organism? What the hell? What are you suddenly talking about? The answer is, I'll die. Yes. And he squeezes it. You obtained 100 bonus points. You've killed a living organism. Oh, and it just keeps stacking. How am I supposed to know that? You have obtained coins. Or would you like a tutorial on coin usage? Skip. And I'll invest 2,700 coins in my stamina. Stamina goes to level 10. Stamina has been considerably enhanced. Your physical durability is greatly increased. And then he tanks the stab. That's interesting. So this all works like a game then. Like even the damage you take works like a game. What? How? Grasshoppers lay more than 100 eggs at a time during mating season. What? I'm not the one who's going to die. Damn it, where is it? You are. And we have less than a minute. Ha. Fuck. Die. Die, you asshole. Why won't you die? Ah. And it's just not working at all as time ticks down. Your time has run out. Proceeding with checkout. No. And people start dying. Alright. I wonder who made it then. Main scenario number 1, prove your value is ended. Number of survivors in cabin 3807 of train number 3434 to Bulguang 5. So, I guess I'm going to have to predict, is it going to be him, Hyunsung, Sang-ah, the bug kid, just because I know they're all somewhat important. And then the last one, I guess, I'm actually surprised. I didn't think Namun would die this quickly. Like, he seemed like he would be kind of important. He just had important character design, I guess. Is Mr. Han potentially the last one? Who knows? And that's where we end? Okay. I guess we'll find out immediately, because I'm going straight into the next one. Alright, moving on to Chapter 7. Let's just jump into reading. Now this is fascinating. Oh? What in the world happened in here? Oh, the Dokubi's coming back. I was only gone for a minute, but look at all this mess. We have all the corpses. But, yep, it is. It's Mr. Han, it looks like. The 5 of them made it. And again, like, how petty. How petty. He straight up killed Namun and didn't, like, save the old lady. She was still going to die. He was just like, I'm failing you as well. Oh, wow. So they stomped the bugs then. Okay. Main scenario number 1. Prove your value is ended. Number of survivors in... Okay, we just read that. Survivors. Hyunsung Lee. Sang-ah Yu. Gil-young Lee. Myung-go Han. And we see Namun Kim taken down. That's surprising to me. That's surprising. And we have Dokja Kim. I'm really surprised that Namun went out that quick. I really thought he had, like, important character design. Help me. Please help me. I'm begging you. Why should I? People's lives are important, so it's only right that you save me. That's how things were in the old world. You said so yourself. A new world needs new rules. No, I don't want to die. Please, help me. And then his head gets split, like the others. You were right. I am just like you. I could have saved those people. Oh yeah, that's true. We could have just given all of them eggs from, like, the ones that he smashed. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel guilty, but it's strange. How am I able to remain so calm? It feels like I'm just reading the novel instead of actually partaking in it. And I wonder if that's going to be... That's interesting. I wonder if that's going to be, like, an important part of his character, is just this descent into, since he's the Omniscient Reader and has the Omniscient Reader's viewpoint, is there going to, like, be a sense of one of the things he needs to overcome is this sense of apathy, this sense that he's just watching these events unfold instead of directly trying to fight against them. It's interesting. You slaughtered 124 living organisms. Slaughtered tails, 1 grasshopper, 123 grasshopper eggs. Huh, I'm clean. Oh, it's on the glass. Due to killing non-resistant organisms, the number of coins you obtained has been halved. You have obtained 6,200 coins. The coins you use to level up your stats will be deducted. I'm just saying, like, the first video I talked about punching grass. Depending on how you count the blades of grass or something, like, I could have racked up some coins. Like, if I were playing in this. The coins you use to level up your stats will be deducted. You've obtained 3,500 coins. And then he looks back. You have unlocked the achievement Decimator due to excessive slaughtering. You've obtained 300 coins as a basic clear reward. 100 coins has been deducted for the channel usage fee. Additional rewards will be calculated. And then we see the shot of Han and Sang-ah, and then we have the others as well. Was it Hyunsung and Gil-young? The world we once knew has collapsed, and a new world is being born. Oh, it's moving. We can go home now. And I am. Oh, and then we see these giant monsters outside. What in the world? My God. Now this is fascinating. The only reader who knows how the world will end. Omniscient Reader, Episode 7, Chapter 2, The Protagonist, Part 1. Okay, so is this going to be him meeting the protagonist, then, of TWSA? Since it was originally supposed to be Namun who was part of his group. Okay. And originally, in TWSA, only 2 were supposed to survive. So it was Namun and somebody else then. Alright, who survived in the actual story? We see these huge creatures outside. And they are, like, actually massive. Like, insanely huge. Why are we stopping again? It's coming for us. That snake-like monster is called an ichthyosaur. It's also known as a sea serpent. Later on, it'll be classified as a Grade 7 monster in TWSA. What on earth is that? The world of TWSA prioritizes scenarios over everything else, so we won't be attacked by any creatures unless they're part of the scenario. We're safe, for now. 1, 2, 3, 21. There are 21 in total. No wonder he's happy. The number of stars signifies the number of constellations that are logged into the channel. Okay. Constellations, they're the most mysterious beings in TWSA and the masterminds behind this tragedy who livestream the scenarios from across the universe. In other words, they're the ones who watch the Dokubi's channels. This channel had 21 viewers, which is a lot for a newbie Dokubi. He's just dying Okay, so it's not the same Dokubi then? I thought it was just the same one, but I guess there are different ones for different scenarios. The scenarios that happened in this, where the 5 of them survive, had 21 watching then. I'm assuming, like, that's not 21 worldwide. That's what I thought at first. But now because he used Dokubis as plural, then I guess there are different channels, one for each of the different scenarios that different groups were in. So there's 21 just watching this channel, which means there's, like, untold more than that. Okay. In the original story, Namun Kim killed almost everyone in this cabin. Due to the death of Namun Kim, 2 constellations feel slight hostility towards you. Okay, yeah, because there were 2 that were interested in him. Some constellation must be furious about the outcome, and this error probably happened because I killed Namun Kim. Due to an unexpected scenario inspection, your payment's being delayed. Please wait a moment. Judging from how the constellation's preferences are popping up, I guess this is officially the beginning of the story. It's just unbelievable. I was in their position yesterday, but now they're the ones watching me. A few constellations are impressed with your scenario. The constellations have gifted you 500 coins. Of course, if there are constellations who hate me, there are also constellations who support me. I hope. And this is interesting, so we also have to think about who's the one who won the competition to set up this apocalypse and who gave him the information ahead of time. I hope all of you enjoy the show, because sooner or later you'll end up paying the admission fee with your lives. Dokja, are you okay? Sangha, I'm sorry, I couldn't save the old lady. Dokja, how are you? How are you so... Pardon? It's nothing. Thanks for earlier. You threw the cage towards me. Oh? That's just a coincidence. It won't happen again. Damn! I don't know what she's thinking, but she was smart enough to survive this chaos. She probably understood what I said. Because of my choice, some lived while some died. I don't deserve the gratitude of those who survived. Wow, so did you all prove your worth? I see there are many survivors. I love the Dokubi's design. I really, really do. Like, I think it's just so cute. I love it. Oh my. Thank you for the sponsorship, dear Constellations. I can't believe there are 21 Constellations watching my channel. There are 5 survivors. That's more than I thought there would be. I expected Hyunsung Lee to survive since he's strong and athletic. Gil Young Lee. That must be his name. And then he remembers giving him one. Interesting. Hey kid, do you want to live? This isn't sympathy. If I had to use a word to describe this, then let's team up. And he nods. It would be hypocrisy. Man, that's so good too. Him even calling himself a hypocrite for like teaming up with and saving this kid even though he led to the deaths of all the others. A few constellations are impressed with your good deed. The constellations have gifted you 200 coins. Even though it seems shameless, it can't be helped, because I too want to live. Considering the events that will follow, and again, I really appreciate the author being like, okay, the main character is going to be hypocritical because it benefits him in this situation to help him live and help him succeed in the game. Whereas I feel like so many other things I read, the main character would just be hypocritical. And, like, it wouldn't be a part of the plot and a part of the character's development. It would just be like, oh, they're saving these people, how noble. Just ignore the fact that they led to the deaths of all these other people. But I like that this is actually acknowledged as part of the story. Considering the events that will follow, I have to get the attention of the constellations. A lot of interesting things happened today. The guy in the next cabin was also a total nutcase. Then are you going to let us go now? And lastly, Mr. Myung-go Han. He's one lucky guy. We did everything you asked for. But why was he even taking the subway? From what I know, he's very well off. He went around every department to brag about his new Mercedes. Let you go. Haven't you seen what's going on outside? Are you sure you want me to let you go? And then we see one of the ichthyosaurs, I think they were called, reacting. Anyway, I'm impressed. I didn't have any expectations for this cabin, but you all survived the first scenario. You've proven that even bugs deserve to survive. Damn it, we're nothing but grasshoppers to him. Of course every hardship deserves a reward. The reward for the first scenario is that you're now qualified to be sponsored by qualified to be sponsored by Constellations. Exciting, right? Okay, this is cool. I wonder who they're gonna... Okay, this is cool. What's this? None of you seem excited at all. This is a pretty big deal, you know. Of course they don't know. I'm the only person who knows what a constellation or a sponsor is. Let me break this down for you. all of you are terribly so weak right now. If you were to just move on to the next scenario in this state, you'd be killed by a weak ground rat, let alone a crook. But there are great beings in this world who pity you and wish to sponsor you. Do you understand? What's that supposed to mean? Who's sponsoring who? Gosh, you really are hopeless. There's no point in explaining it all over again. Why don't you just experience it yourselves? And then he snaps, and all of the screens pop up for them. And then we get cliffhung again. Okay, I'm glad I'm reading one more chapter. Hopefully we get revealed who it is sponsoring them. So yeah, we got one more. Let's read chapter 8. Alright, on to episode 8, which will sadly be the last for this week, but let's see what happens. I'm glad I'm continuing. I would have actually really hated to end on that one. That one would have been so frustrating. So yeah, I guess let's finish this out. He snaps, their screens pop up, we have Omniscient Reader, Episode 8, Chapter 2, The Protagonist, Part 2. Sponsor selection. Select a constellation. The selected constellation will be your reliable sponsor. And we have Abyssal Black Flame Dragon, Demonic Judge of Fire, Secretive Plotter, Prisoner of the Golden Headband. Okay, so again, this could be anything. I mentioned before. So here's the thing, I always thought when I was like an elementary school, middle schooler, I'm like, oh, mythology's so neat, I know so much about it. Then you get to be like a high schooler to college student to adult, and it's like, oh wow, mythology's neat. But there are some people that are obsessive about it, and it's like, well, compared to them, I don't know anything. Especially like a lot of Eastern mythology, a lot of like Korean stuff. If this is like a lot of Korean, if this is a lot of Korean like related mythology, I am going to be a bit more lost. And it doesn't even have to be mythology, it could be like great past heroes or something like that. Demonic Judge of Fire, I have no idea, because it's a demonic judge. I was like, Judge of Fire, oh, and then I started thinking of like angels, but I'm like, demonic judge. I don't know all the like demons off the top of my head. I mean, in some versions of things, could it be Satan? I don't know. This is going to be a fun part of this, is guessing. Don't spoil me on any of these. Let me guess. Let me find out for myself. Maybe Satan? Or like, Leviathan doesn't make sense for that. I'm trying to think. Beelzebub doesn't make sense for that, to me. Abyssal Black Flame Dragon makes me think of either... What's the one from the Legend of Gilgamesh? What's the dragon from that? It makes me either think of the dragon from that, I don't remember its name. The one from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Or like Set, or Set, whatever, for from Egyptian mythology. Like one of those two maybe? I don't remember the dragon from the Epic of Gilgamesh though. Demonic Judge of Fire, again, I'm thinking is just like one of the like big special archdemons, like Paradise Lost type stuff. So I don't know, like, maybe I'll think of another one. Satan, I don't know, because in Seven Deadly Sins, Satan was wrath. In the good Seven Deadly Sins, not the popular one, the ecchi one. Secretive Plotter, just, there's so many, like, it feels like every mythology has a trickster god. I feel like Loki's the most famous, but like, there's a trickster god in like every mythology. Prisoner of the Golden Headband. What is it? Sun Wukong is like the only thing I can think of that has a golden headband. But then again, I feel like that's a very like Indian or Chinese thing, where a lot of Indian or Chinese mythologies probably have a lot of characters with golden headbands. So no clue. But those are the 4 options, apparently. Or are those 4 options just for him? Dokja. 2 strange options suddenly popped up. I don't know anything either. Just think of it as taking an aptitude test. Ooh, what would I choose if I had the choice of 4 of those? Or those 4? I don't know, because you don't know what powers or whatever you would get, or even if you do get powers from working with them. They all sound cool. They all sound really, really cool. Again, I might go full generic edgelord and pick Abyssal Black Flame Dragon, because that just sounds so cool. Secretive Plotter sounds like it would be practical and helpful, Prisoner of the Golden Headband sounds the least interesting, but still good. Demonic Judge of Fire sounds powerful, but it also sounds a little generic. So I don't know. I don't know which I'd choose. Two strange options suddenly popped up. I don't know anything either. Just think of it as taking an aptitude test. Sang-ah was offered 2 sponsorships. Guess she's lucky too. The ones who provide support to us are the Constellations, and now sponsor selections, one of the main events. And now sponsor selection, one of the main events in TWSA is started. Man, imagine being the sponsors who are like, I'm this great constellation, this galactic being, and you don't get picked, you get picked last for gym class. What a downer. Alright. The sponsor selection's a system in which the constellations who watch us through the Dokubi's channel choose a human they like as their incarnation and sponsor them. And we see, like, again, it looks like a monkey hand with, like, the gold bracelet, and that's like a dragon hand. So were these the 4 that chose him? And is, like, the demon hand is one of them, and the trickster hand is another? Yeah, that's gotta be it, because they're showing Dokcha. So if we have these 4 hands to go on, I feel like the top right hand just further cements my theory. Okay, Sun Wukong. This one's like an actual legit dragon thing, so that's gotta be the Abyssal Dragon. Then I guess one of these is the demon judge hand, and one of these is the trickster hand. They could be interchangeable. I would think the left one is the trickster hand, but who knows? And in my case, 4 constellations want to sponsor me as their incarnation. But the constellations never reveal their true name. Considering the protagonist... okay. I was like, why does that look weird? Protagonist is spelled wrong. Considering the protagonist of TWSA initially had 5 options, 4 isn't a small number at all. Using hints like their nicknames, Abyssal, Demon, and Garden, we must try to deduce their identities for ourselves. But even if you, like, find out their identities, like, I don't know how it helps you depending on, like, what powers you get from them. Because obviously if they're a constellation in this game and there's some, like, great, again, great galactic being out there, then, like, that means obviously, like, their stories from mythology don't necessarily line up with the reality of how they exist. Well, it's a piece of cake for a reader of TWSA like me. First, let's see. The Abyssal Black Flame Dragon. He is a powerful being that leads the constellation group Black Cloud. Okay, so they have, like, groups as well. From what I recall, his true name was quite long. The incarnation of this sponsor receives an additional boost to their power level. Considering that stamina and strength is vital in the early scenarios, it'd be smart to select him as my sponsor. Unfortunately, the benefits end there. The more you use this constellation's power, the more you lose your senses. Eventually, you'll end up as a psychotic killer. Usually, he supports edgelord attributes. We see, of course, Namun. I'm pretty sure he was the constellation who supported Namun Kim in the novel. So, why did he choose me? I don't know about him. I'll just put him on hold for now. My second option is, I'm amazed to see her on my list. Demonic Judge of Fire. Judging from the name, one could assume the constellation's demonic. But ironically, demonic means this constellation isn't a demon? What? Okay. The words fire and judge indicate that the entity makes judgments through fire. That means she's actually... Okay, Archangel Uriel. Weird. Okay, then why... Oh, demonic judge because they're judging demons? Okay. Alright, that's why it's demonic judge. They're not a judge who is demonic. They're judging demons. Okay. I remember someone who chose this constellation as their sponsor in the novel. Uriel isn't a bad choice, but I'll explore my other options first. Constellations of absolute good are powerful, but they impose strict restrictions on the ones they sponsor. Again, I like this explanation that, like, who you choose affects your mental state, where like if you choose the first one, you start to like go down a path of like you go down a path of like losing your mind eventually. But if you choose this one, like you have to, like, it's not going to help you, it's not going to work unless you like uphold absolute good. And the third, secretive plotter. All right. And then I'm an avid reader of TWSA, but I've never seen this option before. If I read it more thoroughly, I could probably figure it out. It could be one of the constellations that were just mentioned. I'm certain that it's not a powerful being. Let's move on. This adjective sounds so feeble. I don't know, that sounds really, really useful to me. This is the last one. Of course, though, like in like RPGs and video games, I always play as like rogue assassin type characters. So it's like, of course it sounds useful to me. The last one. And then, I can't believe this constellation made an offer already. Prisoner of the Golden Headband. Prisoner. This constellation may sound negative at first, but you have to pay attention to the proper noun, Golden Headband, the smallest prison in the world. The owner of Mount Huaguo, sorry, no idea how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, who lives with the pain of the binding head shackle. The handsome Monkey King with the golden gaze and fury eyes. Okay. The great sage heaven's equal, Sun Wukong. So again, I feel like the hands kind of gave it away. And because I'm not really all that familiar with Eastern mythology as much as Western, so it's like Sun Wukong was one of the only like figures that I particularly knew. One of the characters was sponsored by him in the novel. He has the power to crush hundreds of incarnations with a single swing of his staff, and eradicate thousands of monsters with a single lightning bolt. I still remember that passage very clearly since the author emphasized it so strongly. Why such a powerful constellation showed interested me. This seems ridiculously OP. You can eradicate thousands of monsters compared to like the first one who just gives you a buff, but also like you lose your sanity. If I choose the Great Sage, Heaven's Equal, as my sponsor, and then we have them all looking, will I be able to beat him? The sponsor selection has ended. Okay everyone, are you done? Wow, someone has made a very interesting choice. Well, there will be many more opportunities to come. Well, since everyone's done selecting their sponsors, let's take a short break. I have to go prepare for the next scenario. I'll see you in 10 minutes. I don't know if he chose Sun Wukong because it's OP, or he said he made an interesting choice. We got a lot of information about the first, second, and last, but he just skimmed over the third. And he was like, well, this might not be useful. And I think him like downplaying it and saying it might not be useful, saying secretive sounds weak and everything, I think there's a chance he may have chosen that one, because we got an explanation for what all the others do, but we didn't get an explanation for what that one does. So there's a good chance that that's what he chose, like narratively speaking. Oh well. Well, since everyone's done selecting their sponsors, let's take a short break. I have to go prepare for the next scenario. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Alright, everyone, please gather around. Hi, I'm Hyunsung Lee, Dokja Kim. I'm not sure if it's the right time to be saying this, but nice to meet you. As I said, I'm in the army. Alright. Well, I should say I was in the army now. I'm assuming you can't get in touch with your unit? Yes. He has a strong grip. I shouldn't be surprised after all. He's the tanker in the early stages of TWSA. I must recruit Hyunsung Lee. Oh, I'm dumb. When I mentioned before that 2 survived, and I was like, well, I guess it had to be Namun and somebody else. It had to have been Namun and Hyunsung then. Alright. And Dokja, thank you for what you did earlier. If it weren't for you, we'd probably be dead by now. Even if we had survived through that method, we wouldn't deserve to live as humans. No, that's... Haha, you did it, rookie. Dokja, you know who I am, right? I kinda like Han. Yes, Myungo Han. Excuse me, you should call me Mr. Han. We're not at work right now. You little brat. So you're planning not to come to work anymore? Where'd you learn such bad manners? And to be To be honest, I was pretty offended by your little stump back there. If there were bugs, you should have told me. How dare you just throw them? Shut up, Myungo-han. What? Don't you see what's going on here? Should I have let that punk hit you to make you come to your senses? Minosoft, do you think that company even exists after everything that's happened? And he's not the only one who needs a wake-up call. Everyone here needs to come to their senses. As the Dokubi just said, this isn't a joke. I'm sure all of you realize what's going on by now. A game-like interface, attribute windows, and skills. Is there someone who still doesn't get what's going on? And then we have them all quietly waiting. It's the kind of thing I read about in novels while covering the night shift. I still can't believe this is real. This isn't a dream, right? Unfortunately, this is now our reality. It's a good thing that at least one person is certain about what's going on. So what now? Do you have any ideas, Dokja? Hyunsung Lee has started to trust you. Your understanding of Hyunsung Lee has increased. We have to get out of here. And then all of them have the same reaction. We have the roaring still. Are you out of your mind? Dokja, I think that's a bit. I also need to check on my unit, but I think it would be dangerous to leave the premises, I'm assuming right now. Yeah, if we leave, we're gonna get killed. Oh no, even Hyunsung's against it. I need to take him with me no matter what. And then we have a slam on the door. What? Are we moving on to the next scenario already? No, the Dokubi hasn't come back yet. That means the person on the other side of that door is the sole survivor of subway cabin 3707. It was quite obvious who that was. And then he's coming. The main character. The true protagonist of this story. We have to get out of here now. We have to get out of here. What? But if we don't leave right now, we're all going to die before the next scenario. Dokja, we can't be sure that whatever's on the other side of that door is our enemy. He's the survivor who killed all the people in his cabin. Do you still want to meet him? Let's find a way out of here. This door's broken. Damn it, this one won't open either. The invisible force field disappeared after the scenario ended. We just need to find a working door. This one's broken too. Among the 8 doors in this cabin, we haven't checked 3 of them yet. Damn it, there has to be one door that works. And then the door's cracking even more as he keeps slamming into it. Right, just more shots of Dokja, and that's where we end. I think that's actually a much better cliffhanger. I'm really glad we read this chapter. I'm really glad we read this one. But yeah, that is it for this week's Omniscient Reader video. Go ahead and get rid of this. Thank you all for watching, for sticking through this. It was incredibly fun once again. I'm just so excited to see more of what happens in the future. I'm just so excited to get more into like the world and the systems and the constellations, and I have to be patient, but that was really, really fun. I guess that's it though. So thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these 4 chapters, what you thought of my first thoughts and reaction to them. Subscribe for more Omniscient Reader, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, ask and I will give you a link to that. It's free and open for anyone. If you'd like to help support the channel on Patreon, it's patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description. Huge thank you to those of you who are already patrons: Elsa the Storyteller, Etchy0, David Langstaff, SG, and Evan Hawley. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching once again, and I'll see you all next time.